Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play. Today we will be checking out the VR shoot 'em up Robo Recall. The shooter takes place in a futuristic time period where robots roam the streets. There are, however, some defective robots that need to be taken out and recalled. Who better to do it than our newly VR connected robot selves? The game puts the player in a type of Robo Recall meets iRobot scenario, where the city is infested with robots that require to be recalled, and the only way to do so is to turn them into scrap. In the beginning, the player visits his home base where various missing and loose parts are lying around, and the player can choose mission locations and weapons. By using the touch controllers, the player can navigate through the game menu. The missions are given which, as the player progresses, increase the difficulty and the player experience. The game will throw waves of rowdy robots your way, as well as a spectacular weapons. At the start include the standard but awesome dual pistols, which hold about 20 bullets each. The player can reload by picking up a fresh pair of these, holstered similar to Reaper from Overwatch. In addition, the player can pull out dual shotguns by reaching behind their backs and unholstering them, the weapons forward. There are dedicated reload graphical user interfaces on the screen which will show a timer until when the next reload is available. This is essential as it prevents the player from reloading unlimitedly at any time and will have to conserve their shots based on the situation versus the timer on their available weapons. In addition, the game allows players to pick up weapons left behind by enemy robots. These weapons vary from scoped rifles to sighted.
It's time to move, Agent 34.
The game's movement system uses teleport qualities. The player can simply activate the teleport feature by selecting the A button on the touch, and then point in the direction that they want to go. In addition, when the point is selected, the rotation in which the player wants to teleport to is also available. This makes it possible to jump to a location and be aiming at the right heading. This ability actually becomes a very tactical and essential feature, as it will prove useful versus overwhelming hordes of enemies, or perhaps times when it is best to retreat and take cover, take the high ground, or even flank opponents. During a combat situation, the player will notice that in addition to shooting their weapons, they will have the ability to also grab the enemy robots and choose limbs and parts of the body where the player can rip their targets apart during close range. This is an awesome feeling, as you will put you in a scenario where you feel like the Hulk destroying and tearing targets apart. An excellent feature is the game's anticipation time on certain bullets, where the player can actually grab or pick bullets and then throw them back in the enemy. It's a very matrix. As the player explores the maps, they will encounter all sorts of enemies, from spider robots, which will jump to your face, to regular street robots, which will try to shoot you as if you were invading their territory. Many enemies will drop from above and around buildings. There will be certain missions which will also have the player engage in dramatic and cinematic boss battles. These will require the player to move around, dodge, shoot, catch incoming missiles, and redirect them back at the boss. At times while Alright, let's break down the game's review. The VR experience is uncanny. The first thing you will notice is the game's graphics engine, which looks stunning. The robots feel and move very smooth. The detailed to lighting and edges make the player really nervous at times, so you get that feeling of being chased around the streets by actual robots that want to kill you. The game's teleport feature, while it does take away from the immersion at times, works well on this arcade-style shooter, as you aren't there to perform an obstacle course. But let's be honest, shoot and kick robot. For this category, I give the game a 4 out of 5. As for the gameplay, the developers really did a good job of trying to dish out as much to the player as they can handle, while providing them the tools that they need to succeed. The reload timer feature, while irritating at times, is necessary as it introduces a whole experience of its own. Timing your shots and a style of engaging is exciting. Being able to teleport and cover while preparing your guns for the next big offensive is effective and feels rewarding when the sparks and enemies are all on the floor. The arcade style and leaderboards encourage the player to try to beat other players on the basis of kills and style even. For the gameplay category, I feel a 4 out of 5 is in order. The replay value of the game I can feel can go either way. While for some, since this is an arcade style shooter, being able to just jump in and shoot your enemies is one thing. However, for another player, they may be asking for more of a dynamic scenario. Does the same mission have to drop the same amount of robots at the same location? I see the leaderboards, but how about a cooperative multiplayer? Imagine a Time Crisis style head-to-head cooperative perhaps. While going through the missions at first is a lot of fun, I feel the game doesn't really encourage the player to come back and play other than try to beat previous scores. For the replay value category, I feel a 3 out of 5 is best in order. Robo Recall is a beautiful looking shooter which presents the player with an adrenaline-filled, action-packed VR experience all in one box. There is no arguing that this game is going to pave the way for future games as it really demonstrates the potential for future shooters. I personally enjoyed playing Robo Recall and look forward to perhaps seeing a sequel in the future which can continue the game's legacy. With that in mind, after taking all the variables and pieces together, I can proudly give a final verdict and score for Robo Recall with a 4 out of 5. Thanks for watching, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Comment below and tell me what you liked, what you did not like about the game yourself. Also, please let me know if there's a game that you're interested in me reviewing before you decide on taking that plunge. It was great playing with you all, and until next time, keep those guns locked and loaded.
Look out, Agent. Incoming. The entity is escaping. Leave it alone.